Welcome to Daily Conversation. This is Mr. K.
This is Eric.
Yeah, today is the 28th of May 2021 and the time now is 6:17 a.m. Well, today our topic is discuss the term human multitasking. And are you a multitasking person? So before we get started, please click the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right, so here we go. All right, so when talk about multitasking, it is about uh, it is talking about person or the people that they can perform two or more tasks simultaneously and also do them well. Yeah, but for this um uh uh they are research show that actually our human brain cannot perform two tasks which require high level of brain functions at the same time. So for me also, I am not a multitasking person. Actually, I'm quite bad at multitasking, and I think the multitasking here um may not be really like the case that one person do the things really at the same time, and these two things is a very difficult task. And I think the multitasking here may be two situations. The first situation is uh, the task that they are doing is not very it's not very difficult. It can be uh, one very easy and one maybe it's difficult, or maybe two of the tasks is easy job. And then the second situation I think is a situation that we need to switch between two or more tasks within a short time. And the second situation here, I think may not really be multitasking, but I think but it can be related, especially when we talk about uh, uh, performing task in the workplace. Yeah, so for me, really, I am not a multitasking person. Even though if you ask me to, let's say, answer a phone call, and then when I was listening to the phone call, I almost cannot do anything else. I have to focus on speaking with the person on the phone. Yeah, yeah, but for some other people, maybe they have the ability to talk on the phone and at the same time maybe still doing the works. For example, typing some uh, words on the computer. Some people can they are able to do that. Yep. So how about you, Eric? Are you a multitasking person?
Yeah, no. And I also know the research that you mentioned, and really our brains and humans cannot do multitask. And also for the computer, they are they are not doing multitask also. And they
Mm,
have a lot of core, which is the processors. And every time you switch from one task to another task, and for example, now you are Zoom meeting, and then you minimize the Zoom meeting
yeah.
screens, and then you go to Google, and then you try to search some things, and then
Mm,
in your computer, it seems like multitask,
yeah.
but it's not. This is just switch from the processor to another processor, and
Oh.
and pros- and Yeah, because nowadays our computer got like 2 processor or 4 processor or even higher. And even in the past, when we only have 1 processor, and the
Yeah.
processor will also have make a pause. For example, now you are Zoom meeting, and then after you minimize and make a pause, and then you switch to the it spends most of the resources energy on the Google search, and then after that you come back to the Zoom meeting and you switch back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and and at the first, even though this is an all day topic,
Yeah.
but when I look at this topic yesterday, I also had the same idea about this, and then but I look at myself. Am I a multitask person? And yeah, I'm not. But it doesn't matter because we can act like the computer. We plan our times, and then we also plan for our task. For example, you can give yourself let's say morning 10 a.m. to 10 a.m. 30. So 10:30 to check the emails. So beside of these times, you won't check email. Yeah, and maybe you set 2 seasons, one in the morning, another in afternoon.
Yeah.
Mm. And we also sometimes you receive a lot of WhatsApp. Yeah, and if our job nature require us to look at the WhatsApp message,
Yeah.
yeah. So mm, yeah, so in this case, maybe you can check your WhatsApp every 1 hours. Because if you apply the Pomodoro, I think it's Pomodoro or something. This is like the tomato working method. And
Oh.
yeah, Pomodoro Pomodoro working method, which is you work for like about 30 minutes to 40 minutes a seasons, and then after that you rest for a while, and then you continue to do other things, or you
Oh.
continue to do the same things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's something like make it fixed and at a regular timing, something like that, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is a Pomodoro technique.
Oh.
番茄工作法. Yeah. Yeah. So if you check the WhatsApp message every 1 hour, so it aligned with this kind of working method.
Yeah.
So we can use our planning and management to deal with this multitask problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, and this is for work. And then so we try to spend our time and focus on one task at one time. And after
Yeah.
that, I think after that and then I keep thinking, is there anything we can really do at the same times? And actually yes. And also we don't um
You
and
don't realize
also
it?
what
No. Yeah, you may continue.
okay, yeah, and also we shouldn't underestimate our learning curve. For
Oh.
example, just now you say you cannot you, you cannot like handle a phone calling while you are doing some other thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know one of the YouTuber. he every day he work for like 12 hours, and then he spend his most precious time in the morning, and then afternoons they normally will have some meeting. And in the afternoon, sometimes he will receive a call, or he'll receive somebody want to have a meeting with him, and then
Mm.
what he will do, and he'll change their clothes, and then grab their AirPods and phones, and then they go out for a run. Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, so he actually, yeah, I think not for runs, it's actually for walk. Mm.
Mm.
So he actually managed to uh managed to join a meeting, and then at the same time they can do exercise.
Wow.
Mm. Yeah, and what just why just now I say we shouldn't estimate the learning curve, which is something that you cannot do well, doesn't mean that you cannot do well always. You cannot do well all the times, and also in the
Mm.
futures. It can be learned and it can be trained.
Yeah.
So even though we cannot do multitask, but we can still reduce the switching cost using some other
Mm.
technique. Yeah, and if you are good at switching one course from another to another,
Yeah.
and then maybe your switching cost is lower than other people. Mm.
Mm.
So so to you, you are it's something like you are the computer, and the switching cost is is so little, is so little, and we couldn't realize there's actually a switching cost. Yeah,
Mm.
so you can reduce. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this can also be found uh in the workplace, which my own experience is when I go to a new let's say I go to a new working place, and then maybe I go for a new job, and then at first I will find it very difficult to because uh, all of the task is unfamiliar to me, and then at that time multitasking is almost impossible. But after, let's say, after a few months, 2 or 3 months, you will find that you can do the things better and better. Yeah, just like you said, the switching cost is getting uh, lower and lower.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. But we also know, even though the switching cost is low, it doesn't mean that uh there's there's no switching cost.
Mm.
So standing from human nature viewpoint, we also need to uh try to avoid the multitask.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also one of the podcasters that I know, he actually is the kind of person uh haven't listened to music for more than 10 years or 20 years. Yeah,
Okay.
and then uh what he would do while he was driving, he listened to other podcasts, he listened to the ebook. Mm, yeah,
Mm.
and he make the environment in his car become a learning place. Mm,
Okay.
yeah, so it's also one example of the multitasking. Yeah, and you are
Mm.
driving, and you can choose to listen the music, or you listen to like the podcast, the list,
Yeah.
and then you can learn the English. You
Mm.
learn the English, and other people may also listen some ebook, some other podcasts. They want to know, they want to
Mm.
know more, so they can improve their learning, they can improve
Yeah.
their knowledge. This is also one of the way.
Mm.
Mm, yeah, and at the same times you also can while you are traveling, for example, you take you took MRT or you took public transportation or even
Mm.
like Grab to your workplace.
Yeah.
Mm. And then you also can choose to watch the YouTube, choose to watch some entertainment
Yeah.
content, and yeah, and you also can choose to read the novel. You
Mm.
also can choose to play the game. This is also a multitask.
Mm. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. But for I think for MRT, this multitask is easier because you don't have to control anything, right? You just sit on your seat, and then you can use your phone, or listen to the music, or listen to any of the podcast. But
Yeah.
driving is a bit more difficult. And then for me, actually, I found that when I was driving, especially when I was driving to uh, a, a, a a destination which I am very familiar with, then I can uh, I can listen to uh, the radio at the same time. But when I was driving to some places which I was not really or not very familiar with, and basically I was not listening.
Mm.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah. Just now I'll talk about the MRT, like the bus transportation, and you also need to um pay some attention whether you miss the stop you want to leave. Yeah.
Mm.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
yeah. Otherwise, you need to take you need to take another bus and
Mm.
go back to your destination.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. And normally, on the bus, uh, uh, I will I will listen to podcasts. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, if I take the bus or MRT,
Mm.
I also will listen to podcasts. And but when it almost it almost at the destination, I also will lose my attention on the podcast.
Mm. Yep, I think one if we are quite familiar with the our destination, I think one thing we can do is to set the alarm, which we more or less know how long do we need to reach the destination, right? Let's say 20 minutes, you can set an alarm 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
So
also
yeah.
yeah, and Google Maps have these functions, and you don't need to set alarms, and
Oh,
the Google Map will tell you. Yeah. And you need to leave uh, you need to leave after 2 bus stop. Mm. Yeah.
you mean if we open the Google Map apps on our phone
Mm.
when we were in the MRT, and uh, it will give the notification?
I don't know the MRT. I know the bus.
Oh,
Mm.
oh, I
Yeah.
have never tried that.
Yeah. But I'm not sure whether it exists in Malaysia, because in Malaysia the public transportation is not that developed. Mm.
Mm,
But so far Singapore Google Map is quite well, doing quite well. Mm.
mm,
Okay, so that's all for my sharing.
yeah, and then one more thing I want to share is because multitasking is quite impossible for human. And then actually what we do is switching between different tasks in a short time, and then sometimes we are forced to do so when we were working, and then uh, what I will do is actually trying to write a few words on the task, especially what to do next. Because let's say I am doing one uh, task and then I haven't finished it, and then maybe I need to switch from this task to another one. So before switching to another one, I will write down what to do next, just a few words, and then I go to the next task. And by the time when I go back to the previous task, I found it easier to continue to do the previous one. And this is especially the case when I was uh, preparing my teaching material.
Mm,
Sometimes I will write down what exactly need to be done next. So when I go back, it take me less time to continue to resume the previous task.
mm. Do you have something like to-do list?
To-do list for daily, yes. Sometimes if let's say uh, how many tasks I have to do in today, so I will
Mm,
also write them out in case I forgot.
mm. Yeah, and I don't know about the process of accumulate of aggregate the learning material. Uh, but I think there's some standard here, right? For example, you
Mm,
need to expand. You need to explain some things. Maybe you also need some story. You need some examples, and then you also need some exercise.
mm,
Mm. And last time you say you include the memory techniques uh in the learning, and maybe you also need to uh try to figure out how to make my students uh memorize this memorize this
mm.
more easily.
Yeah.
So is it the standards to prepare this?
To be frank, it I didn't have such a good standard, and sometimes I will include, and sometimes I didn't.
Include what?
Like you say, maybe the memory technique, and not everyone.
Yeah, beside of that memory technique,
Mm.
you
Yeah,
still need
and
to do the explanation. You still need to give some example. You still need to
mm,
give some exercise, right? So,
yeah,
is there is a standard?
yeah, you can say so.
Mm,
Every lesson has have examples, exercise. Yeah.
yeah. So while you are preparing, you also will uh try to try to find the appropriate learning material and put inside this framework, right?
Mm, yeah.
Mm. Okay, so that's all.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all for our today conversations. How did you feel? Did you enjoy the conversations? Please tell us what you think of our conversations. And we are not native speakers. If you found any vocab or grammar mistakes that we made, please also comment to let us know because we want to learn more and improve ourselves. Remember to like and subscribe to us. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.